Hey there folks, Mark Johnson from tech-snobs.com. I'm going to do a full review on the Samsung Galaxy S4. Now this is the AT&T model. This is the 32 gig model, which I did pick up from AT&T not too long ago. I did have the 16 gig and I just found it didn't have enough space that I need. And just kind of running through the hardware on it. It is 4G LTE. You do have a 5-inch Full HD Super AMOLED display, 1.9 quad-core processor, 13 megapixel camera, full 1080p recording on here, infrared remote with the Watch On app, and it does have Android 4.2.2. Starting off with the hardware and design. Hardware design on it is definitely, it's pretty much what you've come to expect from Samsung. It does have some nice touches, you know, some chrome on the edges. And on the side, it looks like some nice shiny chrome. For the most part, it's still plastic. For some people, that's not, what they like. So I can understand why you may not, care for a device, with hardware, which is mainly plastic. But it's very lightweight in the hand. It feels good. Comparing it to something like, here's the S3, it doesn't really look, too far different from that. When you do hold it on the back, though, it's not as thick, and, the S3 is like curved more. So that's something to keep in mind. And then also, looking at it compared to something like the Note 2, same thing applies, where it's just like the hardware, just very similar look and feel across most of their devices. So it kind of is what it is. You kind of love it or hate it. But it definitely, honestly, it feels better in the hand than the S3 to me. And I definitely like that. Some of the other things is like, it's very, very fast overall. Like, I definitely don't have any problems, using it. There's nothing that really stands out as, being subpar, and they've just done a very good job with overall specs and hardware. But when it comes to the software is really where this thing shines. I mean, it has pretty much anything you can imagine, when it comes to hardware. So like, even if you're on a web page, software, you go to a web page and you can swipe up and down with your hand, or you can go swipe left to right to go to web pages, which is pretty cool. And it just got a lot of stuff that, for some people they may feel it's not necessary, and it's definitely not, but it's cool nonetheless. And it's cool to use some of these features too, because there are times where you can find yourself wanting to use it. I did try the eye tracking, and that it did work for me. Although it is it's not 100%, but things like Air View, when you hold your finger close to the screen and it zooms in, I mean, it just got like a lot of cool little features. And, when it comes to features and software, you're not going to definitely, find anything that kind of compares to what, Samsung's doing with the S4. Some other things about it is just, if you like TouchWiz, it's pretty much the same here, but you got more things in here, like it tracks your walking. You can put all your exercise stuff in here. Like I said before, you have the Watch On app. Let's find that real quick. Watch On. You control your TV. It can even show you, like, recommend channels for you. I've tried that out. I haven't set it up on this newer device, but I have tried it out. Some other things. Let's run a quick quadrant standard, just kind of give you an idea of some of the speeds you get when you run a benchmark. Okay, so we're back with the results, and let's see what we got. So this device, as you can see, we're getting 12,191, which is the fastest device I've tested so far when it comes to, quadrant standard. But I'll be honest with you, there's some, here and there I do get a little hiccups and a little bit of lag. Nothing that I don't think any software fix will pull down, but it is doing a lot of things behind the scenes here with all this various software running, Samsung Hub. You just got several Samsung apps here. You still have S Voice going on in here. You have S Translator. I mean, it just has anything you can imagine. There's story albums, which will recommend certain albums you create, when you take enough pictures. Just a lot of cool stuff overall, and it's definitely it's very impressive overall, because it's just a thing where you're never going to be able to find half the stuff or even use it. And I'll just go into some of the menus here and just give you an idea. There's NFC, there's screen mirroring, there's Kai's Air, and let's go into like motions and gestures. I mean, You got air gesture, motion. If I click on air view, I mean, just look at all these things you could turn on and off. It's definitely just pretty impressive overall. You have voice control. Phone call comes in, you can say answer. You can swipe your hand across the screen. You can just all this kind of cool stuff. So it's definitely very cool. You know what you can do. It's definitely a great demo phone if you like want to show some cool stuff off. Going to the camera, which I definitely think is probably the best camera I've used, so far on the cell phone. This camera it's got a lot of cool features. I'll click on mode, for instance. Very similar to the Samsung Galaxy camera. Drama mode is real cool. I haven't had a chance to really test that out, but I've seen it tested, and it definitely is cool where it will just take several shots of a fast moving object. And then, animated photo, you take a picture, it will, you can animate different parts of it. You can add sound to photos, just all kinds of crazy stuff. And it just doesn't stop. I mean, you go into it. You can even do 2 cameras at once, which is definitely pretty cool. And you can see that going. You can take pictures. I mean, it starts off at a, I want to say it's 9.7 or 9.6 for the widescreen. Yeah, 9.6 for the widescreen, but it does go all the way up to 13 megapixel for a 4.3 aspect ratio. So that's definitely cool. You got your burst shot mode, metering, you got anti-shake, you got auto night protection. I mean, it just goes on and on. Video stabilization, of course, GPS tagging, and just features galore. You even have more filters. You hit the bottom button here. You bring up filters. So if you're into a lot of Instagram stuff, you have a lot of filters just built in that you can use. So like overall, I mean, the camera quality is great. It's fantastic. I haven't had any issues with that. Let's see if I can get a pretty decent picture of something. So I took a picture of the box and pull that back up. Just obviously pulling it up. I'm going to do one more picture because switch the mode here. Let's try beauty face just because. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to zoom in. Took the shot. And then once again, I mean, just very, very good quality. Zooming in looks great. It's got a lot of DLNA features where you can push it to TVs and all kind of stuff. So overall, just a fantastic device. I mean, honestly, there's really, I recommend this device highly to anybody that wants to try out a new phone, new Android. If you're just coming to it, even if you don't use half the features, they are there, and you'll always find out something new about your phone every time you use it. So that's definitely a great feature. Also, the battery life will get me through a day, no problem. You do have the ability to expand it with the micro SD slot. And then another thing, what I've noticed is with the space, I did show you that in the unboxing, how much space I had left. But let's go back to after I've installed some apps and so forth. I still got 19 gigs available. So I definitely think this is the model. Like if you're going to be putting stuff on there, with pictures and downloads and so forth, apps, definitely want to take a look at the 32 gig model because I think it's going to give you the best bang for your bucks. $50 more, but you do get a lot more, flexibility, with as far as storage goes. And then one other thing I want to show you, something with the screen. I'll see if I can even find it. The screen mode. I mean, it has this adaptive display where it will automatically adapt to dynamic, standard, professional photos, movie mode, kind of like how Samsung TVs are. And, if you see when I go to movie, the screen kind of dims a little bit. And then when I go to dynamic, it changes up. So just, feature after feature, days on end is definitely, you can't lose there. And I highly recommend it. So definitely be sure to check out the site, tech-snobs.com, for more coverage. This is the Samsung Galaxy S4. This is Samsung's flagship. They have another conference coming up soon. It's going to be on some more Galaxy stuff, so we'll find out what else is coming down the pipe. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.